Welcome back, everyone, to another fun gear review. And today, we're going to be taking a look at this West German Army folding entrenching tool. So, I'm going to go over a little bit of the history on this style of entrenching tool before I get more into the details about the physical tool itself. Now, this West German Army folding entrenching tool, aka it's a shovel, aka the Bundenwehr Klappenspaten. I probably butchered that. I don't speak German. I just play a German once in a while on TV. That in German means Federal Army Folding Spade. This particular design was in use from 1959 to the early 1970s. Then it was replaced by the NATO Trifold shovel design. That's the design, several video or so back, I reviewed the Coleman folding shovel, and I said it was a copy of the Army one. Well, that's the NATO Trifold. Alright, let's get into some specs on this. First, let's cover this blade here. The blade is 5 3/4 inches wide by 8 inches from here to the end, or 14.6 by 20.3 centimeters. When it's unfolded, when the blade is unfolded and it's folded out, it's 24 1/4 inches. And when it's folded like this, from here to the end, it's 17 inches. Or it is unfolded 61.5 centimeters unfolded, or 43.1 centimeters folded. Now, on the Amazon page, it's where I bought this one. This one's a reproduction of the West German one. It's made in China by Miltech. They said the listed weight was 1,420 grams, which comes out to 3.1 pounds. And I gotta tell you, this thing feels heavier. This thing is heavy. Holy smokes, I think this is the heaviest e-tool I've ever had. And mainly I wanted to get this because of the locking mechanism. You see right there? Made in China. And here you got Miltech 2014. Now I assume that's when this one was made. Could be wrong. Don't know. Now just looking at this, it doesn't look too bad, really. The handle really surprised me. That's an oil finish on the handle, which is what I prefer for... Oh, there goes some sirens by. An oil finish on the handle, that's what I prefer for an outdoor tool. I don't like a varnish or shellac, because it just is too slick. This actually, I mean, I can actually get a grip on that. There's 2 rivets for the handle, so if you broke the handle, you'd have to drill those rivets out. There is a pick here. Okay, and this looks like it was cast. Look at all these imperfections in the pick. So I do not know how strong that's going to be. Now, like I said, I mainly bought this. I was curious about it because of this mechanism here. It's a push button type mechanism. You push that through, and then you can rotate either the blade and give it a little shake. There we go, it goes back in. It's like spring-loaded. And there's some play in it. That's to be expected with this kind of a lockup. Okay, so you can have your shovel. You can set the shovel. This thing, I can see a little bit of rust there. I'm going to have to grease this thing up. You can set the shovel at 90 degrees like a hoe configuration. You can bring this pick out. So you could have it like this to pick, move, pick. And that would be really good in clay, let me tell you. I mean, it looks like it can hold up, but being cast, I don't know about that pick. We're going to find out, though. But first, I want to find out the actual weight, because this thing feels a lot heavier than 3 pounds. So, we're going to find out. Oops. Help if I turned it on, right? Okay, we're set to pounds. Moment of truth. Okay. Okay, it says 3 pounds and 1/4 ounce. In kilograms, 1 kilogram and 366 grams. The list weight was 1420 grams, so it's actually under the listed weight. Alright, I guess I was wrong. It just feels... I think it has a lot to do with the balance, because all the weight's right here. The blade is relatively thick, but the only bevel I see is right here on the tip. There's no side bevels. So, okay. I'm going to take you outside. I got some chores to do. My other war. You saw my first war is with the groundhogs. Well, my other war is with bushes and small little trees coming up everywhere. I try to dig them all up because they always come up where I don't want them. So let's go get on that. You see this stuff here growing up out of the ground. I want it gone. I want to be able to mow right here. And usually the roots on these things are way too deep for me to dig them out. There was one right over there. I actually burned it out. So we're going to see just how deep we can go on this one. Let's see what we can do here. I could even cut them off at the root where it's low enough where I could mow over it. That would work too. But this side of the blade not being sharp, kind of, and that side not even being sharp. Let me see if I can shear that off. No, it just skates right off it. But it appears to be working as a shovel. I think with this one, I'm just going to have to expose it down to this root ball here, and then burn this one out, because I can already tell these roots go deep. Well, it works. It works as a shovel. So, I wonder, let's set it up for the pick. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. I'm beating on that pretty hard. If that's going to break, it's going to break doing this. Well, I don't think that's all root right there. See how big these are? See how big this one is? It's like it's like over 2 inches. What is that? 4 or 5 centimeters. You see, this has been cut off before and just keeps coming back. So the only thing I can do is burn these out. But for a preliminary test, shovel seems to be okay. Heavy, but okay. But heavy might actually be a bonus in hard soil. We don't really have hard or clay-like soil here. We only got really loamy soil. As you can see, it's practically black. That's because this whole state is nothing but a swamp. This whole area here, probably over 100 years ago, probably had standing water on it. So you're looking at what happens when you drain land and develop it. Let's see if we can break that pick, shall we? Went about an inch or 3 centimeters or more into that stump. Oh wow, that went halfway in. That went like up to here. Well, I think I put a little bend on it, just a little bit. Let's see if I can bend it back. See if I can get it good and deep in there. Well, it's kind of up now. So it didn't break, but you can see here it did bend a little bit. See if I can get it deep in there. Well, I straightened it a little bit, but yeah, I wouldn't be using this as a pry bar. It's probably not going to work very well. Alright, I ran it through its paces. We did bend the pick a little bit. As you can see, it doesn't want to set flat now. It's got a little gap in it. You know, I beat on it pretty decently. It is robust, which kind of surprised me. I thought I was going to break this pick, but bent it instead, and that kind of surprised me. If I didn't already say this, I bought this off Amazon for $33.28. Link in the description. Would I recommend this for someone hiking, camping, bushcraft? No, I would not. And that's simply because of the weight. I mean, this thing's heavy. I know my scale said it was a little over 3 pounds, but it feels heavier in the hand. And I think that's just because it's so unbalanced, all the weight's at the end there. So when you grab by the end of the handle, it's all like, ugh, you know. That and the fact that I think if you got really hard ground, like really hard, like Georgia clay hard, you're going to bend this. I didn't bend the blade, but if I can bend that pick like I did in the stump, I have no doubt that under the right conditions I could bend this blade. I would say that the only thing this particular e-tool, shovel, would be good for is to throw in your car, throw in your truck, you know, be that emergency piece of gear. But honestly, even for that, I'd be like, spend the extra money, get a Glocky tool, or spend, you know, almost the same amount of money and get the cold steel. But that's my opinion. I showed you everything about this. I hope you go and see my Myog. I'm going to do a Myog on this, because this joint here, this mechanism, I'm going to clean it up and grease it. so it functions a little bit smoother. And then I'm going to bevel these shovel edges too. And then I'm going to stick it in my gear room, because who knows, maybe someday I'll be able to give it to somebody who needs one. Alright, that's all I got to say on that, folks. I will see you later on, maybe out in those woods over there, using an e-tool. Thank you for watching.